Hello and welcome back to Embodied Astrology. This is a weekly series where I share practical teachings and intuitive messages about the astrology of the week ahead so that you can work with it to embody your most authentic self and live your best life. This is really a week of living in the in-between. We had a big solar eclipse in Leo last week on Wednesday. Next week, we have a big lunar eclipse in Pisces. So this is really a week of letting the dust settle and just trying to keep calm and carry on essentially as we move through the rest of eclipse season, with the kind of final culmination coming next week with that lunar eclipse in Pisces. When I tap into the energy of this week, it feels like there's a lot of frustration and kind of like rawness and reactiveness. It kind of feels like you're mad, but you don't really know why, or you're starting these little tips, or people are starting little tips with you over nothing. It just kind of feels like there's this general frustration and reactivity energy happening. Mars recently moved into Cancer, which generally is kind of this energy when it comes to conflict, like a little bit passive aggressive or kind of saying things sideways or being really cryptic about like why you're frustrated about things. And then it's interacting with Neptune in this way that it's like, I don't even know why I'm mad. So when you move through this week, I really encourage you to take your time to try to wait. If you are feeling like you need to react to somebody or defend yourself, like try to just like take a beat and see if you still feel the need to respond or react in this way after giving yourself a little bit of time to think about it. But it's also not all bad. I also get the sense that there are some good moments throughout the week. There are some good conversations that we're having. There's some clarity. And there's like these moments of understanding. And so I think the overall message that I get is like, if we give ourselves the time and space to think about how we're responding, to really process what's going on around us, to give ourselves plenty of alone time, like isolate yourself if you need to, keep up that journal practice from last week so we can really start to process on paper, like, what is this actually about? Why am I feeling frustrated? Why am I feeling upset? And to start to make sense to all of that. And then once we really get that all out on paper, it's like, okay, now I can respond in a way that like actually is authentic to how I'm feeling. And it's not coming from a place of reactivity or just like being annoyed in a way that's like really not helpful or productive for this situation. The silver lining of this week is that on Saturday, August 22nd, the sun moves into Virgo. So Virgo season is officially here. And the energy of this Virgo season is giving me like clean up on aisle 5 energy. It's like we had this solar eclipse in Leo last week that was, I think, really kind of intense and raw, and maybe we're feeling a little bit tender and pouty about all the shadow work that's coming up and all the things that we're realizing that we want to change or shed about ourselves. And then Virgo season is coming in being like, oh, I am discerning, I am organized, I am devotional, like I know what to do. You've had all these emotions, you've been in your feels about these things, you realize these things that maybe are a little bit jarring or uncomfortable or just like not the most flattering, which Leo obviously hates that. Virgo is here to be like, okay, like this is the data we've received. This is how we're going to integrate it, and this is how we're going to move forward in a way that's really like healing and devotional and ultimately in service of your evolution. So I know we're not quite out of the woods yet when it comes to eclipse season, but the ingress of the sun into Virgo just feels like this light at the end of the tunnel. It feels like if you're unsure what to do now with anything that's started or ended or you've realized over the course of eclipse season so far, to me, the energy is like, don't worry, Virgo season is here, and we're going to have this opportunity just around the corner to really integrate all these lessons that we're learning and know exactly how to move forward in a way that feels really healing and supportive and moving with a lot of forward momentum. So my practice for you this week is really just to rest. Keep up that journaling process if you like with the stuck emotions, sit in meditation, see where in your body you're feeling any sort of discomfort or tightness or stuckness. Journal about that, see what comes out. If you're feeling a little agitated or irritated with a situation or a person, do the same thing. Put it all on paper, let it come out in like the most unflattering ways that it needs to come out, and then process and decide how you want to move forward. And when you ever feel like you are overwhelmed, you want to react, you want to kind of like lash out, take that time to rest. Even if it's just like you put on one song and you lie down on the floor or you lie down on your couch or you meditate, whatever that kind of self-regulation looks like for you, this is a great week to really lean on that and not to pressure yourself to do anything crazy to implement any of the realizations that you're already having during eclipse season. A lot more is left to be revealed. My advice for you this week is just to really let it wash over you, take your time, and take as much time to yourself as you need, because that is really, really important right now. And that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so curious to hear what's going on for you with regards to all this astrology. So feel free to leave some comments below and tell me what's happening. And if you want a little bit more one-on-one support, you can book a True You Astrology with me at the link in my calendar below. Thanks again for watching, and I'm excited to come back next week. We will unpack everything that you need to know about the lunar eclipse in Pisces. Till then, have a great week and get some rest.